So the last thing I want to talk about is Bob Saget. So I got the news from my girlfriend that Bob Saget passed away. And, she knows I'm a huge fan of comedy. I always watch comedy on my lunch breaks. I'll search, Comedy Central roasts in the YouTube search bar, and I'll just watch what comes up. And Bob Saget he's been on those. I've seen clips of his online. I've seen his specials, and yeah, it's sad. And I wanted to talk about what Bob Saget and who Bob Saget was to me. Because a lot of times celebrities pass away and people say that it's sad, and it is, and I'm not taking away anything from those people. But Bob Saget was only Bob Saget, but he meant something different to everyone who experienced his comedy, his art. Because that's what happens when you get super well known, is that your work gets filtered through a prism of people's minds, and it means a different thing to each person. And so I wanted to talk about the small slice of the Bob Saget prism, the small slice of my experience, and there are millions of people who experience Bob Saget, so take this for what you will. This is just me, and I wanted to talk about how I saw him and how I viewed him, and what he meant as a comic and a creative, and the person that I never met, but I saw him interact on interviews and comedy specials, Full House. And so to me, Bob Saget is a beacon of duality. He was Full House, America's dad. He played a sitcom character that was broadcast to millions of television sets per week. And I would watch Full House with my mom often, sitting on the couch in the morning before school. Full House, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air were two of my favorites. And he was America's dad. And that's how I knew him for years, until I was a teenager in high school, probably 11th or 12th grade. I started to discover his comedy and realized how incredibly dirty and creative he is as a stand-up comedian. And he did it all with what seems like enormous amounts of kindness. Whenever I saw him in an interview, or whenever I saw people talk about him, or whenever I saw people roast him, he always seemed like he was enjoying himself. And he seemed like he genuinely was having a good time. He cared about people. And again, I don't know Bob Saget personally. I have never met him. I've never had a conversation, would have loved to. But I'm just speaking purely as a third-party outside observer who is watching things that are publicly available. And to me, there's enough out there on Bob Saget to say that he seemed like a very kind, warm-hearted person, that he was a blend of this kind of dad persona, but also this dirty comedic mind that came together in a way that brought people a lot of joy. And it brought me a lot of joy. And he is someone that gives me more confidence in my own pursuit, which is podcasting, in my own creative pursuit. Because a lot of times, especially as a creative, I feel like I have to be one way. I have to do the thing that is working. That a podcast, I'm figuring out the way to be. I have to be serious. I have to be funny. I have to be seriously funny, or, humorously serious, sad, dark, beautiful, twisted, happy. I don't know. But I'm always trying to figure out this way to be as a creative.